a big part of Joe Biden's election-winning campaign was the fact that he wanted to get on top of the pandemic, wanted to get on top of coronavirus. And you see today, it's his first full day at the White House, and he's announced at least 10 executive orders pushing through with his plan to fast-track some way to at least handle the coronavirus pandemic in the US that's getting out of control.
Hi, Pete. Yes, look, I'm not sure that any of it is particularly useful, but it's certainly, he's made a big deal about blaming the previous administration for the coronavirus deaths. That's pretty much standard for what the Democrats have been doing for the last year, is putting every single death around President Trump's neck. No acknowledgement that Operation Warp Speed brought forward the development and distribution of a vaccine at warp speed. So the distribution of the vaccine, I assume that he's going to take up Amazon's rather generous offer to help distribute it. But you wonder why Amazon didn't do that before the election. There's so much politicising of health that it just makes you not trust anybody.
He wants 100 million Americans, he wants 100 million vaccinations over the first 100 days of office, but it's only going to apply to 50 million people because there's got to be 2 shots for each person, right? Do you believe that that can be achieved?
Look, I think it can. Already, I think around 15 million Americans have been vaccinated, and every day there's a huge uptick in that, as it was designed to do. The real stop in all of this is the states, and you have New York, for instance, the bureaucracy involved in trying to sign on for a vaccination is ridiculous. You had Andrew Cuomo, the governor, injected racial politics into this whole thing, identity politics, and he announced he was going to slap enormous fines on hospitals if they went outside his protocol for who got the vaccine first and who was supposed to be first in line. So, for instance, if they came to the end of their day and they had some of these vaccines open and they had a choice of either throwing them in the bin or giving it to, say, the janitor or someone walking down the street, they had to throw them in the bin. So I think he's reversed that now. But that's the kind of idiocy that you're seeing from these incredibly ideological state governments, and incompetent as well. I mean, it's a double whammy. And when you're living in New York City where nothing is working properly, I'm not that surprised that vaccinations aren't either.
So much of his speech yesterday was about unity. He wants to unify the country. Do you think that can be done, Miranda?
Look, I think everybody wants unity and would love it if he meant it. But unfortunately, while there were some fine words about unity in the speech, there were also some really bum notes, I guess you could call them, about white supremacists and political extremists and domestic terrorists. And this is the new code for anyone who doesn't agree with me, anyone who voted for Donald Trump. There's been a really illiberal kind of authoritarian crackdown on free speech, stifling dissent. If Joe Biden really believed in unity, then he would tell his Democratic colleagues in Congress to stop this ridiculous, pointless impeachment of Donald Trump, who has left office, is a civilian, is Mr. Trump. Impeachment's meant to get rid of a sitting president, not to just go after vindictively your former adversary.